properties for my mic again. You know, in this situation, obviously a little bit different, you know, dealing with the loss of my brother. I've been thinking a lot about him and stuff, you know what I mean? I think that happens, you know, with anything. Um Uncle Mike with the link, with the like. What's up? With the like. Um yeah, I mean, you know, with anything you think about these moments and stuff like that, it's wild. It's kind of inevitable, right? That you just kind of start thinking of past moments and stuff like that. And in this situation, you know, I think about I don't know, man. You just think about different shit you just could have did, you know, saying like differently, better, or you know, like it's a fucking absolute impossible task, but you know, you just a lot of stuff. So, but mentally, I'm fine, man. It's rough, but you know, one day at a time. That's it. One day at a time. Um, yeah, but I'm here. I want to draw some stuff today. I'm probably gonna do some fan art of the new design for Miles Morales from Chase Connolly. Actually, you know, his work is just off the hook, man. So I actually have a Pinterest board of just his stuff. Um, but yeah, he's just super inspiring, man. His work is just fantastic, you know. And he was able to do a new silhouette for Miles Morales, and you know, for it's you know being around for about 10 years. So I think it's sick. I think he did something really dope, and you know, it's just one of those dudes who like considers a lot of stuff. So you know, Miles's new design is like what it would be like a winter New York kind of thing. So he actually has this really dope. It looks like a um I don't know, like one of those like tech wear tops that's supposed to like keep you warm, you know, really warm in cold weather and shit. And it comes up and it pulls over his face. It's just a real dope design, man. It's just very creative. Um, and then he basically has kind of, you know, really dope kicks. They look like they like have boost technology, a little bit of that bulky sole, which is like really cool in shoes now. I wish people did more designs with them. Um, and it's awesome because his initial design too is like he had bottoms too, so he's wearing, you know, like Miles obviously has like his spider suit, which is a little bit more teched out, but then like he kind of has joggers and like a winter top, which is dope. You know, it's just like it would be sick to see. You know what I mean? Because like Parker is from, you know, New York. It's not like this nigga is, you know, he's in this skin tight suit. He's not gonna get cold and stuff. You know, if he's whipping around and he's fighting, then yeah. But if he's just chilling on rooftops, which you know they do a lot of, then yeah, it happens. Yeah, man, I lost my grandpa, and I stopped myself from thinking about it, so I can really try to accept myself. Yeah, I think the hardest thing is like when you know, when you lose somebody, um, you gotta kind of, adjust to like the new reality, like that new reality of just like somebody being gone. You know what I'm saying? That you know, you. It's the only way I could really describe it. You know, I've already lost a brother, so you know, a lot of stuff is framed in that reference. I thought it would be not easier, but there'd be some things you come to terms with in a different way. And no, it's not. You know what I'm saying? You don't just come to terms with it in a different way. And this ended in such a way where there's a lot left. So, all right. So for everybody that's on here, if you want to see what I'm drawing, you can hop over to my Twitch. I'll be over there. I want to kind of get back into streaming. I'm just gonna be streaming late for a while because I just have so many commitments that I have to do. So, and this will probably be the first stream that I'm streaming, I guess, for myself. But after that, I'm going to be working on some concepts for clients and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, Yeah, and if you got questions, you can hop over to Twitch. You could, I'm gonna try to keep up with IG, and we'll just see where it goes. I might play some actual music instead of just some background stuff because I feel like I want to get myself hype. But I'm probably gonna get it hit with a DMCA takedown. So, if that happens, fuck it, it happens. All right, let's switch to my workspace. I made that stinger, man. I'm so proud of that damn stinger that I created. And you'll see I actually already got a drawing that's up and running. So I think I'm gonna end up sticking with this. I might play around with it a little bit more. Maybe while I'm on, I'll just kind of work through a couple more things. What I was initially gonna do. Thought this was kind of cool. Yeah, maybe you guys will just see me do something new on stream. I was drawing characters and shapes. Interesting because, like, I saw somebody doing like a study like that where they drew a shape and all stuff in it. And it's an interesting exercise because you really want to, what I'm learning now at this stage in the game is like strong silhouettes to really take your work level. Like, and you start to see, like, I'm seeing all these people at a certain level and their fundamentals are tight, so they're able to just play around so much more with their style. And I'm starting to understand, like, if I want to get a style that I really want to like, I'm really gonna have to push myself, you know what I'm saying? Do I like lo-fi music? I do like it, but it's also the music I can play without it, like me getting hit with a takedown. I kind of, what? Okay, let me just play songs from my like list. If I get hit with shit and want to just hit me, block some of my video, is what it is. I want to enjoy this. So all the people who joined, I am actually drawing on Twitch, so you're not just looking at my face. But if you want to bring up some cool stuff for discussion, you can bring up some cool stuff for discussion. I'll try to get back to you. I'm just gonna be drawing, do some fan art for the new Miles Morales thing. That's kind of out, so we'll just see what we'll just see where that goes. I got some references here on the right that I want to try to use. And we'll see. I like to mix references up, so let's see what I can get. Oh, this looks sick. So I took this rad class for like drawing, and it was super helpful when it came to like understanding the general idea um of a drawing, which has been huge for helping me draw better. You know what I mean? Like getting more of this motion in, especially when I'm doing certain studies. So, let's see. All right, let's see what they're saying on Twitch though. Usually we converse on IG. Speaking from experience, I've lost a lot. Prayers up, fam. Faith guides me through a lot. Let's see. Yo, thank you, Uncle Mike, with the like. I appreciate you. Appreciate your words, man. Everything is helpful. I feel like you're a hero to the black community. Well, Jesus, that's kind of that's a lot. Um, thank you. Shit, I don't even know what to say to that. You kind of caught me off guard with that one. I draw emo looking characters so good. Yeah, man, it's just an expression, my own expression of life. You know what I mean? Like I'm a fun dude, I guess, but been through a lot of shit, so a lot of that stuff is internal, and I think I do use some of the art a lot of ways to, internalize that. Also listen to a lot of in my actual sometimes a lot of fucking music. Not like emo, but like shit like I'm listening to right now. Active Child, Nicholas Bertel, you know, what's going on? Mr. Fig, what's up? Just drawing, man, on Twitch. So if you want to see what I'm drawing there, I'm actually doing a study because I want to do some fan art for St. Chase's in your Miles Morales thing. Thing is, I really should have just drawn a bunch of shapes, just warm myself up before I went into doing something that's complex. Zero to the black community. That's a lot. That's a lot to live up to. There's a lot of really great artists out there. I feel like that do it bigger and better and are making way more of an impact. Um, you know what I'm saying? So just keep an eye out for those people who are, publishing books and are actually, you know, making a little bit more headway. Because they're out there. Check out Black Sands, Noir Caesar, Saturday AM. Those are three companies that are black owned that are, in their own ways are just trying to uplift and build the black community through art, and that shit's super important. Important that we keep up with them and try to help. Any tips for artists in college? If you're not drawing every day, you need to draw every day. You need to devote a certain amount of time to just study, and devote a certain amount of time to study, but then also draw a lot of shit you don't like drawing. I'm really serious about that. Draw a lot of shit you don't like drawing. Oscar, what's up? Thanks for hopping on, man. Oscar Grace Music. Yeah, like, I can't stress how often I draw things that I'm not very good at, and I'll do them 10, 20 times, and I get so much gratification from actually being able to like see the growth in it because I'm practicing it. You just don't get good at things if you don't practice them. And it sounds silly to say, but an artist will tell me like I'm really bad at hands, and then I'm like, well, how often do you draw hands? And they're like, how are you gonna get any better? You're not gonna just have an aha moment where you're just like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. I'm white. Started seeing a lot of black anime stuff. I'm new to it, and I've seen a few animations. I'm gonna be honest, I'm new to it, and I'm gonna say I don't like it, but I love Afrofuturism. I love seeing it. So I think I'm a little bit mixed up in your comment. I'm white. Started to see a lot of black anime stuff. I'm new to it, and I've seen a few animations, but I'm gonna be honest. I'm new to it, and I'm gonna say I don't like it. I mean, look, man. First and foremost, you don't gotta like everything. The unfortunate part is like you've been seeing black anime shit for a very long time. You just didn't know it was black. If you watch Fate Stay Zero and some of the lore that they pull from, like I think Hannibal's in the show. Hannibal Barker. Hannibal's black. Carthage is Northern Africa. That's why Sicilians are so dark. There's a lot of unfortunately there's lore things that are taken like directly out of Africa or the African diaspora, but they just don't color the people brown. You know what I mean? Michiko and Hachkin. I'm butchering that name. I mean that's in Brazil, but a large part of Brazil is Afro Brazilians. Yo, what's up, John Fire? Thanks for hopping on. Oh. Yeah, you were. I think. Oh shit, you were one of my first subs, John. I appreciate it. really do. Um, yeah, but you know what? Stick around, man, and keep watching. You know what I mean? You know, it's interesting because you're not the only person who has said that. You know, but at the same time, people watch Vinland Saga, and that's a Norse anime. Um, there's a lot of animes that are like that take place in a lot of Nordic places, and nobody has a problem with it. And black people are like, hey, it'd be really cool if, like, you know, we watch a lot of this shit. We've made it very, very cool for people to be anime fans. And all of a sudden, you know, it's like, oh, well, everybody's trying to interject black people and blackness. It's like nobody had a problem with Vinland Saga. Nobody has a problem with a lot of the white references, Thor's lightning bolt and shit from Zeus and everything else like that. It's just only a problem when black people do it, but very often happens. Like every time black people are like, yo, you know, that, you know, like we just try to like carve out a piece or something like that, you know, people will kind of get upset with it. And I'm at a certain point where I'm just like, you know, it comes from an innocent ignorance, in my opinion. Right? A lot of times when we call people ignorant, they get so upset. You're pretty cool to be an anime fan. Me and Jordan Martins was talking about that today. Like about just being people who love anime, but like still like do actual practice martial arts and, you know, just chill people. You could do that. You know what I'm saying? That's possible. But yo, One Hero, man, thanks for hopping on. I appreciate you, bro. I've been enjoying your streams, man. Sometimes I'm watching, I just be in the cut. Uncle Mike with the like. Heard so much dumb trash talk about the one black character in Fire Force. Yeah, so and yo, the dude who did Fire Force and who also dude who did Fire Force and also whatever it is, Soul Eater, he made a comment about that. He was like, I'm surprised you don't see more black people in it. Like even that was weird to him. That's why he added Kalik, and he had this Ogun character. And it goes to show you, Japanese people, they do the research. They do. I liked Cannon Busters too, and I love Cannon Busters opening, and I don't give a fuck what anybody said. I liked Yasuke too. I did not want I don't think I wanted a Samurai Champloo. There's a couple things. First and foremost, there was gonna be a real live action Yasuke that was gonna come out before Chadwick Boseman passed away. That's one thing. Secondly, like I rather people fail in the attempt at something different than try to copy another thing. And you know, like I look at Yasuke and I think if people removed their expectations of just wanting a black version of Samurai Champloo, then they would have just enjoyed it. Because that, you know, without that expectation, a lot of people also didn't read any of the hype around it. Like they mentioned robots and magic, mad times and mad media. People were just like, "Yo, I wanted a Yasuke. I wanted a Samurai Champloo," and I'm like, "Dog, oh my boy, C Night. Hope I said what's up. College of Smoke. Yeah, I'm seeing all the fam on here, man. I'm gonna do a new process, right? And I might put this up on stream, get myself a little counter here, and add it to the media player. But I think I'm gonna do a thing where I do like 10 minutes of talking, 10 minutes of drawing, 10 minutes of talking, 10 minutes of drawing. Because y'all really don't want to see, y'all really don't want to hear what the fuck I was talking about. Okay, art. That's how we do it. My ability to drawing is out of this world. Deserve flowers now and later. Thank you. You know, I appreciate that. I don't. People tell me I don't take compliments very well, and I do not. Just don't take a lot of pictures of a lot of yeah. It's hard for me to take a lot of praise because I think a lot of artists do, but you know, we want more and we want to do more. You know what I'm saying? You know, always capped off. People ain't just like the black jokes, and I feel like the character's death did not really cause. Oh yeah, I look, man. Yasuke definitely had shit I didn't like. I you don't just kill a character and revive them. You know what I'm saying? Because then if there is gonna be a season 2, which I have a feeling there is going to be more. It was meant to be a longer story. Then you've kind of downplayed the stakes. You know what I'm saying? Like death is should be a high stake in an anime. Like I plan on killing certain characters and stories that I have, and like there's no coming back from that, and there, you have to feel the repercussions of it. You know what I'm saying? Also at the same time, like, you know, people live with that shit, and you know, I've had to live with it before, and I know people have had to live with it, and I think it's important, man, how we respond to it, how we, you know, how we internalize it, how it changes us and pushes us in different directions. My first brother passed away. You know, a lot of us continued to play football in his memory, and you know, we kept a lot of things alive through, you know, his passing, and we felt like important, and you know, it's lost when a character like that dies, and it doesn't, you know, affect a lot of other stuff. So I feel you, man. I think it was paced weirdly. You know what I'm saying? I think it could have been paced differently. I think there was missed opportunities when it came to world building. Like, you have to consider this, and I wish I was an art director on that project, because I would have been like, all right, so 20 years ago there was a battle with mechs and magic and shit like that, and then when you see the world that they're in, it's not affected by it. And like, we, as you know, as we know, when war happens in a certain area, right, you start to see that that area is affected by leftover, for example, like, you know, in Vietnam there were so many like leftover fucking landmines and shit like that, and that cultured the way, like, you know, people kind of moved around those areas, and it cultured the way like the towns and shit like that were built. If there were a bunch of destroyed mechs and a bunch of stuff all over the place, you know, people would be using it to power their shops, to build their homes, to whatever is armor. Like, you know, that those areas were looted and raided, and so all of that stuff should have been affected in the world, and it would have felt less displaced if it was there. If you went into a town and you saw that a dude was using the back end of like one of the robots to build a roof over his home or some shit, or like the shops are using exhaust engines to like cook the food, you'd be like, okay, this area was affected by it. I'm no longer in just like a feudal aspect of Japan. um yeah, it definitely could have just been a lot. But let me see what you're saying. We came for you, bro. Thank you, nostalgia, appreciate it. The knowledge and the art. Yeah, most death is a major trump card in anime. It should be. Yasuke 3 out of 5. Had to keep it solid on the pod. Lakeith was busy. Yeah, yeah. And then like Lakeith's, you know, his voice acting was right. Like the lethargic thing didn't really hit with me. My favorite song is War at the Gates, and then like the Mind Battle, I think, or the song after Mind Battle, I think. Fire 5 out of 5 anime. Yeah, I mean, Mappa did it, so it was gonna be cracked. Collateral damage, aftermath, remnants of war, exactly. All that stuff could have been included. You know, I don't think it was cool to have the mechs as a main character. Could have been somebody inside a mech, or like a generational here. Yeah, it could have been. I think there was a lot of factors too that, you know, I give the project a lot of grace. Um, because like Yasuke, it was announced that LaShawn would be working on a Yasuke, and then literally like later it was announced that Chadwick Boseman was gonna be a live action Yasuke in like a storytelling of it. So I have a feeling that they were like, well, fuck, you know, we have to do something, because we can't just do like the anime and then or the movie, and then this anime kind of comes out, you know, even though it's free source and shit. So, you know, I think there was a lot of things that could have happened, man. But at the end of the day, I look at it and I enjoyed the series, and so like that's, to me, is important. Like every nigga wants to be a critic now, because so many people can watch people's video essays of stuff, and then we ask them like, did you enjoy it? And they're like, oh yeah, yeah, I enjoyed it. And it's like, yeah, like, you know, not everything is gonna be a wild masterpiece. At the same time, you got one nigga able to get up there and make this stuff. That's the shit that's really difficult. Not to say that LaShawn Thomas is trying to make, you know, put everything in one thing, but like, you know, if I'm him, I'm thinking to myself like, yo, one, how long they gonna let me make shit, and then two, like, you know, like, is this gonna be my last anime? How much stuff I'm gonna put in? You know what I'm saying? You know, and I don't know, man. If I get my shot, you know, like, if I get my shot, I'm sticking true to my guns. And people are either gonna really like it or really hate it. And I'm a type of person too. Like for me, like I'm not I'm not a nigga that's like mine. Like it's my show, gotta be my way. If I get a writer and I like that writer, I will let that nigga make calls. As long as I'm like, here are beats that are important. Like if a character dies, we're not that character's not coming back. I don't care what literary themes or this or that, then we don't write a death in. You know what I'm saying? Or this or this is that. But beyond that, like, even like I manage a team of designers. And as a person who manages a team of designers, like if someone doesn't do it my way, I don't think that that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like you can have we all have different paths to get into a certain thing. So, as long as we hit the beats, as long as we hit that emotional context, dog, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was listening to a thing cuz I was on Clubhouse, and I was on with like a showrunner dude, and I was like, yeah, I might have an opportunity to like, pitch a show and all this other stuff. And I'm like, if I do that, like, you know, do I want to be someone who's like a showrunner or a producer? You know what I mean? Like, because I'm like, and I also storyboard. So it's like, I want to storyboard some of these scenes and, whatever else. Like, I don't need to be a producer. Nigga. I don't need to be an executive. You can make me a producer. I'd rather be like a showrunner or like creator. So that way I can make sure shit stays in line. I also have never done producing before, so I could sit behind someone and learn how to be a producer and not just be like, yo, this is my shit, so I just want to do a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm very open to hiring good people and allowing them to do a good job. So if I ever get that opportunity, I want to open that shit up and just, work with a good writer and just, just like, hey, here are my influences. And this is the thread of these influences. It's not power, it's not the magic, it's the characteristics of the people, it's the characteristics of the rules of the magic system. You know what I'm saying? Like making sure those things are really smacking. Speaking facts, how long would you make a show if you had a choice? It depends, man. I'm more about like telling a complete story and just having people enjoy that story. So it's not even about like, yo, I want some shit that's running for mad long. If it's necessary, then yeah. If not, like I see like if I do Black Flower Blossoms, I see that maybe running 30 chapters. 30 chapters, like in every 10 chapters is like is like certain major events and beats and stuff like that. So, you know, yeah, I think like maybe 30 chapters, but it also depends. Like the more you write, the more you do, like I have worlds I think that are larger, but most of the stories I tell, they feel like they come in a complete circle. They're not monster or weak kind of thing where it's like boom, and then you hit a boss here, and then you hit a boss here. It's like, I have a story called Road to Ilashan, and it's basically like a dude, and he's just like a religious he's like a religious paladin, and he decides to like put down his weapons, like he's done with his crusade, and it takes place on another world, and there's deities and stuff like that, and he goes back to be a family man, and his family ends up getting murdered on one day while he's out, and as someone who's such a devout religious person, he basically like goes on a journey to like meet God face to face, or their all father version of a God face to face, and question him. And so like that has a definitive ending, you know what I'm saying? Like where there's a purpose for his loss. There's a purpose in how his loss influences him, which influences the world around him. It's not meant to just be ongoing. So if I did a story, it'd probably be like 3 seasons, 4 seasons tops, and then I want to tell a different story. Which was my collateral damage. I agree to disagree. In my opinion, Lisa is the god of anime. I don't know what Lisa is, and if I'm not thinking too much on it. But tell me what Lisa is as a god of anime. I think he did a great job of resources provided and set up. Yeah, I mean, look, Yasuke was not getting Castlevania money. So if it was, then I feel like it would have been more of a bop, right? I think I had 6 episodes. Try to do something. I don't know what he would have done, but you know, If I got a chance to do 6 episodes, I think I can tell a complete story. Because I don't give a fuck about it going longer. Like I'll end it. I think it's like, man, we really like this, but the worlds that I build, other things can take place in that world. Like if I for Black Flower Blossoms, I can tell that story, and if people are like, I love that world, I'm like, let's go back. We can go back into that world and do something here or there. I wouldn't say you don't take compliments well. I think you have that are consistent. Always want to improve. We all should want to improve just a little bit. Something different. Thank you, John. Watch party was fun. Yeah, I want to do another watch party for some other stuff, dude. I want to do a Ninja Turtles watch party. I think I should set up a Discord and allow the community to chat, because I have so many community resources, and really realistically, like, y'all should just be connecting and doing your thing, and you should be working with each other to further stuff. Like some of you guys, you know, like make like emotes and stuff like that, and some of y'all stream. It would be cool if you would make emotes for each other or whatever, help each other out another way. Using DMC site, you know, takedowns, bro. Fuck that. This might get taken down. This should slap hard for royalty free. It is not royalty free, and trust me, they're gonna slap cuffs on. Do you feel we undervalue the level of our end product and craft? Yeah, I mean, like, look, as Black people, we definitely grade ourselves like higher, because like we really want our stuff to be good, man. Because we're like, yo, there's like, so me and Jordan on here, we're part of the same scholarship program. We have full academic scholarships in order. And so like when we walk into a room, like realistically, we know that like how we act and how we do things opens up more doors for other people that are like us. So we try our best to be fucking exceptional. And that's because like we don't have the opportunity of mediocrity. Like I'm just thinking of like how many mid things probably came out on Netflix or other things from other creators, and like they keep getting chances, you know what I'm saying? I see some movies and I'm like, how did this movie get made? You know what I mean? And it's just like they're given opportunities to fail and get back up and to do more stuff, and we don't really get that. So like we gotta, you know, when we see other shit, it's like when we see another Black person acting mad crazy in public and we're like, damn nigga, you represent all of us. um but then at the same time, you know, we got to also start giving ourselves grace, I think, some degree, and holding ourselves at somewhat of a certain standard, because we haven't even gotten the opportunities that a lot of other people have. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, if we do give ourselves a chance and everything else like that, you know, like every other person has had, we'll get our really good anime, our really good show that we like, you know what I'm saying, that is produced by us, that is show run by us, you know. Doesn't, you know, like, look, I'm sad that we're not getting another season of Lovecraft Country, but I loved Lovecraft Country. I think it showed something, and I think it, you know, I think it was really cool, man. And and you know, I want more of that, and I want us to have more control and ownership over that. Not like we do what we want, but also just the money wise, and the opportunities, being able to hire other people of color and shit like that. You know, I get an opportunity to hire people in my at my job, and I keep that in mind. All the cultural stuff, whether it's, you know, whether it's like race, gender non-conforming stuff, you know what I mean, like, because I am a marginalized, keep one, character development, two, world expansion, three, power system. My grandma, yeah, hacked our way to success. Oh shit. Mangekyo, God, what is up? You wrote this a minute ago, but I hope you're still up to you. I love Cow Crunchy. I don't know. Jonathan Major gets. Yeah, I'm glad he got his, man. Needs serialization in the manga. They don't know how much they're missing out. Love my Kingsley character. Thank you. You know, I hope that spirals into something that is more, right? So See. So yo, this dude Saint, he put out some more sketches of his fucking Miles Morales, and they're so good, man. So good. Just like kills me sometimes, man, seeing this dude's work and just being like, how much for artwork? I'm gonna put my prices up again. My prices are going up next month, unfortunately, because I have less time. I have more clients, so I'm more in demand, and my work has gotten better. And so at this stage in the game, like, I guess people really just think, you know, that's part of what you're paying for is my style and opportunity for it. As of right now, it's 150 for a character design and 250 for a character design with a background, you know, depending on how crazy the background is, you know. But that's just probably going to go up to 200 next month, and then 300, so another $50, which is basically another hour's worth of work, which is basically what I end up doing, because now I know more and I'm doing more shit. So, you know, oh dude, just the way this dude draws characters is so crazy. You know, one of the things I want to implement, and I was doing this before, and it's really hard for me, to make my characters really slim. You know what I'm saying? Like, proportionally. I've been trying really hard to do that, and originally I had a style that was kind of like that, and then when I started practicing to get better, I started drawing more realistic proportions, and that kind of, like, you know, set me back a little bit. Will your mangas be in color or black and white? I really love black and white. I really love black and white, man. But but like, people love my color, right? So like, yo, you've been following me for a minute, and you've been following like my shit. You're just like, yo, I like this dude's color drawing. You know, that's what I want to see from Mike. You know what I mean? People don't want to see black and white shit from me. So I think I'm gonna have to do a comic that has color. Everybody on this chat, I want to see a really cool comic that has color. It's one of my favorites. I've read this shit like 10 times. It's by Jake Wyatt. It's called Necropolis. I think if you've been on stream before, you've heard me talk about it. And yeah, it's like one of my favorite little fantasy things to kind of read, man. I love the dialogue. It's not over. It's you know, it's ongoing. He does like a page a week, but it's been on hiatus since he's been working on a lot of movies and shit. And I love the way he handles color, and I love the way he handles the simplicity of it. So I might do a short comic that's like 2 or 3 chapters, just so I can test certain things out. It won't be anything special. I might like maybe continue. If anybody's been following me for a long time, I had a little comic called Duelist. I might do a brand new chapter of Duelist, like a couple, just to bring it to a head and use that as a testing ground for bringing color into an anime manga. Cool conversations in here. Bruh, I was thinking, spoilers, he killed. Go to bed. All right, man. Take care. Appreciate you joining the stream. Miles, yes, 5%. Look at it. Apple. TV. Let's see what IG is saying. It's been a lot of talking. If you guys want to see what I'm drawing, hop over to Twitch. I'm just getting myself warmed up with a couple things. It's funny because being in Rad's class got me drawing with like just pen and just like, you know, doing less lines recently because I'm just out of practice a bit. I had to do a lot of lines, but I'm been doing a lot less lines and being more deliberate about what I've been trying to do. IG, let's see what's up. Dylan, what's up? OTM Mike, I need a serialization. Okay, I love my Kingsley characters. How far behind am I? Your manga's being color, probably in color. He's an unrecognizable talent which we don't see every day. It's more amazing than a lot. I pray that his work becomes recognized every dollar spent. He takes his work to heart. Who are we talking about? We're talking about Jake Wyatt, right? Yeah, Jake is he's fucking phenomenal, man. His work is just amazing. His black and white, his pen work stuff is great. His color work is fucking great. All of his shit is really good. Why don't you mix it like Saturday AM and put some pages in color and black and white, like a hybrid? Because people, and I've done this testing wise, right? People like my color, and it's, to be honest, like how I color and how I light, it was how I hid a lot of my inconsistencies in my art. um and it just became a thing I was known for, you know what I mean? Like, as much as I love black and white, my polish is not quite there yet, unfortunately. And to be honest, because I'm an adult and I also have a day job, I don't really, it's harder for me to practice and get better at the things that I'm weak at. So I have to be, all my time is very deliberately spent hacking hours and trying to find the time between time to kind of grow and to get better. I do a lot of experimentation on the go on, my client's dollar, essentially, within reason, so that way they're still getting what they paid for, but I can also still grow. But, it's hard. I would love to do black and white because I just love contrast. I love playing with that. I think it allows for a better and stronger hierarchy when you're creating stuff. I know I'm being a fucking geek about this shit, but yeah, it's just like that feeling, man. Being able to do it that way, just, I don't know why I like it so much. Because I grew up reading color comics and I love the fucking colors in comics. But when I got to manga and I just like, saw the right, I guess when I was just seeing the right mangas, man, like Bleach and fucking Legend of Tear, and it's like I was reading a lot of weird mangas at first that weren't really big three stuff for a long time. Um but that I just kind of like loved by fucking randos, and I was like, man, this is really good. There was one manga that I really loved. It began with a G, and it was about this kid who was a martial artist, and his dad was like the illest martial artist in the world, and he was basically trying to like find him and kill him, and he had like this, came from this martial arts school. Shit's crazy. And I can't remember the full name of it, but I loved it. But the art style was just fantastic. Obviously, one and Yusuke Murata, Eyeshield 2021, Eyeshield 21, and just like, I don't know, man, how you'll get noticed sooner or later, King. I honestly, man, I'm not worried about me getting noticed. Oh, you talking about me? Oh shit. Oh, thanks, OTM Mike. Thank you, man. Um, I think I don't really care about myself so much getting noticed, as much as there's a lot of good people out there. I feel like their work is so good and I want to get noticed. Yo, Devon Brooks, thank you for hopping on, man. We talking comics. Yeah, we talking about a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I said this before when I made a comment about letting black creators in the room. I wasn't really talking about myself. Like, I don't think I'm really prepared for that quite yet. But there are people that are out there. When opportunities have come past my opportunities have come past, I have no problem putting other people on and basically being like, yo, this person's really good, find them and work with them. This person does this, work with them. I want all black people to win, so it's like all ships rise in the tide kind of thing. Um, but when the time comes, if I'm ready, hopefully that will be a thing, man. But I don't know. I want the right people to be recognized. I don't know if I'm the right person yet. But I tell you this, dog. My dad said this shit to me when I was gonna get this promotion for this job, and I was like nervous about it, because they hadn't really hired a lot of people, and I wasn't gonna have a lot of help with the work. And then dude was like, my dad was like, look, man, he was like, you out of all his sons or whatever, I work really hard, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, yo, you are prepared to die to do whatever you're gonna do, like, and you're gonna work the hardest at it, like, so regardless of whatever happens, you're gonna do the best of your ability. That's it. And in that attempt, we'll see what comes out of it. So even if I did get an opportunity that I don't know if I felt like I was quite ready for, regardless, I'm doing the best I possibly can to make that shit happen. At the end of the day, that's what people will say. They'll be like, yo, show, I don't know about it, but this nigga Mike was out here promoting his own stuff. I saw him driving a bus. I saw him, whatever it is. Hey yo, that nigga with the ice. What's up? You have a lot of pressure on you. I got a lot of pressure on me to do what? I'm not in the limelight yet. They green light something, then I don't feel the pressure yet. It ain't hit me yet. When it does though, day nostalgia. Heading out. Hope the good work, King. Yo, nostalgia, thank you for joining. I appreciate you, man. Had a bleach backpack in 7th grade. It's all about making the attempt. Absolutely. Yeah, man, I'd rather you fail in the attempt than quit. I think that's one of the hardest parts sometimes for me, is like sometimes I do kind of want to stop, but it's like that Kanye line, nigga, quitting is so much harder than trying for me. So it's like, yo, it's so hard to just quit. When I see people of my color skin, maybe and that feeling of not being part of something feels amazing. No, I feel you on that. I mean, I navigated a lot of worlds, man. So that I like Black Dynamite? I didn't watch it. I didn't watch Black Dynamite, to be honest. I saw some trailers for it. I don't know. It reminded me a lot of the blaxploitation and shit that niggas have watched back in the day, like the Mac and everything else. But I just, it wasn't really. I didn't feel like it was gonna be my bag. You know what I mean? I love the art style. Saint Chase did it. I think they followed his art style for it, and that was the biggest draw for me to even look it up. But I have a bunch of like the art to reference, but I haven't watched the show. Never watched the show. Yeah, it's about making the attempt. Absolutely, that's what I did with webtoons. Oh, Devon, you got a webtoons? I want to read it. I want to read that shit. Yo, Mika, hey bro, all love, happy to see you blow up, well deserved. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Mika out here, man. Thank you. Yo, I failed hard with the cupcake comic. Yo, honestly, it's important to fail. I fail every day. If you're not failing, you're not trying nothing new. And even when you try some new shit and it starts picking up, then do that well, but try to experiment, right? Don't get too comfortable with that, especially like if you're at a certain phase. You know what I'm saying? Like even people like Christopher Nolan was experimenting with Tenet. By creating a compelling story and a compelling side story and literally a nondescript protagonist, to the point where the protagonist's name was protagonist. He wanted to see if it's possible. Can I tell a story without a main character driven thing? And some people had to watch it again. Some people didn't know how to take it. But he learned something from that, and I guarantee you his next film is also going to be some wild off the hook shit where he's going to combine what he's learned and take that into an account. And so, it's good to fail, man. Like right now, I tried a bunch of different stuff, but I feel like this is probably my more favorite attempt. It's so dynamic, and I like it, and it probably is the best, gesture in it. But I'm just playing around to see if I just find something else that's fun. The giving up is way harder than trying. Yeah, that's it. Fire verse in a song. What's up? Eros, what is up? Is in Devon's bio. I'm gonna check that shit out. I got new stuff I'm working on. Always be. By the way, how often do I read the Bible? Leaving God telling. Thought it was crazy that I didn't watch Black Dynamite. Yo, I'm here listening. I forget you're a teacher. Oh. Working on your homework assignments for the summer classes. I see. Well, I hope I don't disappoint with you listening. And then with the ice. I believe in God. By the way, how often do I read the Bible? I do not read the Bible. I haven't read the Bible in a while. I was transient for a while. So, and the people that I was living with when I wasn't with they were actually missionaries. I traveled up and down the East Coast with them for over a year. When I was a kid, I was kind of a strong Bible thumper. I think for me, um, Abrahamic religions are they have a weird taste for me. You know what I mean? Um, I believe in a higher power. I just feel like some people misuse Abrahamic religions. So I gotta say, like, our relationship with that higher power, it's kind of a personal one. But I have read the Bible. I do still remember a lot of verses and a lot of stuff. I think it tells a very small. It depends on what Bible you read to, whatever it is, or if you go back to a source and you know, fucking Aramaic or whatever it is. But I think what's been given is, I think, a small picture. I think a lot of world religions kind of touch along the same thing, and when they do, I kind of use that more of a canon approach, right? Because so much of that stuff has been used to manipulate people, and we know that as common knowledge how the Bible itself, different forms of Abraham to take advantage of people, so it just depends, man. I follow my spirit. I kind of follow the platinum rule: treat people how they want to be treated, because we're all different. And then at the same time, like, I have no problem fucking a nigga up that crosses me, or my family or something like that. It's part of nature, and it is a necessity. Devon, thank you for hopping in. I know you gotta go, but I appreciate you being here, bro. I'm gonna work on a manga next year. I want it to be like Street Fighter or King of Fighters in a way. That would be dope. That would be dope, yeah. A little character list of people. I want to be a character in a show, in a thing. Anybody out there who's following me right now, anybody out there who's viewing and you're creating a show or a manga, add me to it. Bama, what up? I'm just drawing. If you want to see what I'm drawing, hop over to Twitch. Nolan loves ripping off anime. Ripped off Satoshi Kon, Paprika. Um, wait, Satoshi Kon did Paprika. Are you saying he ripped off other works of Satoshi? Um, and directly Paprika? Saying because you could have just been like he ripped off Satoshi. Tenet being original was cool. Yeah, but you know what he did, and this is the shit that left a bad taste in my mouth. Is like he put John D. Washington in there, and then like he didn't really John David Washington, and then like he never developed him. You know what I'm saying? Like he developed whatever the nigga's name was in Inception. Can't remember his name right now. I can't remember what Hop or something like that. I can't remember what his name is in the thing, but it's Leonardo DiCaprio's character. He gave him a backstory, gave him a love of his life that he lost, children, blah blah. He wanted us to care about the protagonist, right? In this one, like we didn't get anything personal about John David Washington, and he made every other character around the main character, which happened to be a black guy, the most interesting person. You know what I'm saying? Of like his movie, and everybody else who's mad interesting character was just, my name is protagonist. Like what? Nigga doesn't even have a name. Thought that was kind of a kick in the nuts. You're not disappointed. I'm always learning something. Thank you. I didn't know I was formative like hero. There's a bunch of Bibles. The apostle for those. There's a lot about blacks. They don't want to teach. Yeah, and they also, money, power. How black people are in that. I mean, look, like Bible says Christ hid in Kemet. Like A lot of niggas in Kemet, you know, like he had to have been pretty brown to hide there. You know, blonde hair, blue eyed dude with sunburn would have stood out pretty. Yeah, the scene by scene for ripped off Mad Directors, yeah, for sure. But Paprika's on Paprika. Christians are not teaching. I mean, not all Christians, yo. When I lived with these people, like they didn't judge people, they didn't whatever, and I honest to God, literally saw them pull off fucking miracles. Would not believe. I don't talk about this very often, but and my brother likes to bring this up. But I ended up like the year when I first started living with them, sent me to some Christian camp, and like I learned to be a lifeguard there. And then like a year later, they ended up holding like their own camp, and I had been practicing as a lifeguard. 2 girls swim out, 3 girls swim out. One of them on another girl's back can't swim. They start to drown, and so the main lady runs in to go grab one of the kids. She starts getting pulled under, and I run in halfway, like to my waist, and I kind of like panic because I'm like, holy shit, like this is actually happening. And then I hear the pastor kind of like yell my name, and I kind of snap like into it, and I swim out and I grab one of the girls and I elementary backstroke her out, and the other woman grabs her, and this girl was like fucking unconscious. And one of the other ministers gave her CPR before ambulance came, and ended up coughing up a bunch of shit and came out. I mean I remember it vividly, man, like it was yesterday. And just a very crazy experience. It's just like, you know, I've just seen them do like wild shit, and they to me like are, you know, I've been in some really crazy times and just get a random call from them, like they call my dad, and then they'll be like, yeah, they said something was up with you, call you, you know, because they just hours a day we would just be sitting and praying for hours a day, whether you're praying or you're meditating or whatever you may call it. They were in tune with something. You know, some of them are doing help people the world forward. I mean, yo, if these people didn't pick me up and I went with a different family in a foster care program, I could have been fucked up, like really fucked up, more fucked up than I already am. That's good, and I yeah, and save somebody's life that I never expected. I never expected, and mind you, I was like what 12. I never expected to use any of those skills, to be honest. Or of just like I want to learn to swim a bunch of laps and a bunch of shit a lifeguard can do. Actually, think I was gonna use Christopher Nolan, not Matt. The protagonist just yeah. I mean, it was yeah. I mean, it was. Look, I watched the movie like 3 times. It was mad fun. I just, you know, that's one of those things where he's like breaking those character things where we, you know, we want a main character that we all with, but instead we were just so in love with the story around it that, you know, everything else was like was all right. You know what I mean? Or the main character was all right. So I don't know if there's any new people on here. There's 11 people watching, but if you are new, you have not chimed in, hop in the chat. Hey, what's up? Love hearing from you guys. That goes for IG too. You can lurk if you want, but it's always, I think, good and nice to hop in the chat and say what's up. That way I can, you know, call you out. Also, I haven't seen anybody use any of my little darkness either. Either that or it's not coming up on my. I want to start doing more shit with streams. I want to um I want to manage polls and shit on here. You guys are interested. I'll probably clip more of my shit, which I know 1 minute ad break. Oh god, that's like watching TV. Jesus, regular cable. Yeah, man, Christians who really follow God. Also think the main. So I'm. Yeah, it was, but it was all intentional. Christopher Nolan did all that shit intentional. live pod. Okay. My bitrate looks like it's holding it. All right, let me get more into some before you guys start leaving. Again, there's 11 of y'all watching what I'm doing. John, you don't have to speak up. I know you're doing some homework, man. I want some juxtaposition, so I might bring a leg here. Also might bring like break in the original. Now a lot of that momentum is carried like out through your limbs. So in order to get the right like direction of where it could be going, I might. One foot is dragging behind. If you're on IG, you can hop over to Twitch. You don't have to have an account to see what I'm drawing. Audio dropped on my... Okay. Well, it seems like my bit rate out a little bit. I'm also upstairs. Router is down. Generally like this song, but right now I really want to hear Meg. Wonder if it's music. Could be. It might be, which is also the name of this song. It's perfect timing came on. My ex-friend went to Japan. He's Asian. He's making an anime called Kingdom of Dragons. I asked him to add black characters. He said he will never add black people to any of his work. I'm black too, and that sucks. That's I when you said yo, the lead-in of shit, the lead-in of my ex-friend. Oh shit, dude. Oh man, I'm trying not to fucking laugh right now because I don't know how long you guys are not friends, but holy shit, that's funny. So damn. I think it's just late. Oh shit. All right. So, well, I know why well, yeah, I know why he's your ex-friend. Cuz you know, that's just like fucked up to say. Like I have a lot of Indian brothers and shit too. And they you know, one of my Indian brothers was like, yo, you're not an Indian person to a show. I'd be like, yeah, sure, like of course. So I plan to have all spectrums of brown people. So yeah, you know, but for me to be like, y'all never put black people in my work, I'm like, now you're not even just being like, oh well, you know, like my work takes place in a fictional, you know, area in like Sweden or some shit, so like it doesn't really make, you know, like I'm not gonna do a Frozen where I got all these Swedish people and then I'm gonna plop a nigga in there somewhere. He was just like, never, you know. It's so funny, man. I'm still drawing, so give me a second. Let me do like 2 more minutes of drawing, right? And I want to get back to you because I support a lot of shit on Kickstarter, right? And I found this, what I found I thought was like this really cool comic book called Atlas, right? And the character somehow is in Africa, right? And he gets into, I have the comic book here somewhere. He gets into like a fucking accident or something like that. and he's in Africa, and he goes to these African temples and shit. In every, it's like a Tibet like temple, like in Central Africa. We're not talking about like Northern Africa, like toward like Egypt and shit. It's literally like centralized Congo or some shit. And he finds a place, and it looks like, Tibet, right? So I messaged a guy. I put it on Twitter or something, I think. And I was like, hey, man, I really love your comic book. I think it's great. I backed it on Kickstarter, and I love it. I just got a question. How come when this guy lands to get his abilities, it's kind of like a Shazam kind of Superman kind of guy. I'm like, how come when he lands and he falls in Africa, that there's just all Asian people at this temple and no black people, right? And we know he's not in Tibet. It's just you've influenced it, right? And I'm like, so there's just this hidden cove where there's Asian people that kind of live, And I'm like, you could have, there's so many teachings, there's so many like shamanistic things that you could have done, in respects to having black people there. And I just kind of wrote that, you know what I'm saying? I just wrote, yeah, oh yeah, fraternity brothers, Jordan said. And I just wrote that. And I like the dude's response because it was very candid, but it also just showed like, it's a white guy, he's writing from like kind of a white perspective. And he was like, I don't really know, man. He's like, I didn't really think about it or something like that. But it was a really honest question. It was a really honest answer. And I just fucking appreciated it. Because I think when I said it to him, it didn't dawn on him that he might have like a black audience, and that he's like, this white guy drops into Africa and then ends up being in an Asian temple, and how much like he would have just, I don't know, uplifted people or changed the, he would have just did something a little bit different if they were just black people, man. And I don't know, it wasn't, for some other people they might have been like, oh, that's not the best response, but for me, like, I just appreciated it because I felt like he felt something, and I think he considered it. You know what I'm saying? Just in his response. And this was before like canceling and all that other shit. So, I didn't get like a bullshit response that I feel like I would have gotten, if it was like now. And yeah, and it's just one of those things where like that's why black people are so frustrated, right? Just going off of what Lenoy was saying, is that like, this dude has a comic about dragons in fucking space and was like, I'll never add black people to it. But I guarantee, like, dragons, and it depends on the type of dragons he does. If he doesn't do a serpent like dragon, then he's doing a Germanic, um, he's doing like an Anglo-Saxon Germanic view of a dragon. Now, there's serpents and shit in lore all over the world. Quetzalcoatl, the Aztecan, religion, but that serpent with also feathers, by the way, I don't want to skip past that, also has like feathers and shit, is more of a serpent like dragon. There's a lot of serpent like dragons in other world religions, but specifically the dragon that we know with the big body, 4 limbs, that looks more like a kimono-esque dragon, is generally like a Eastern Asia, Eastern, excuse me, European kind of, like it's more like English white dragon. It's the only way I can really describe it without getting too technical terms. I mean, even Jormungandr of fucking Norse mythology, that is more of a snake-like serpent. The world serpent is a snake. So if your friend does dragons like that, then he's perfectly fine with using like white people, white lore, Asian people, some Asian lore, but just refuses to add people of color to what he's doing. But he would be perfectly okay with taking other shit from everyone else, or everywhere else. So I think you're perfectly fine with making that person an ex-friend You know, for the simple fact of the matter is they may say that they're not racist, but the act of just being like, I will never do that, but then pull from every other color or race around you that is not brown. I mean, that can't be anything else but racist. Sorry. That's how I feel about white people when they make the kalimba. I don't, but I know I don't look at it from that perspective anymore. As long as they're very passionate about it and adding awareness, so all that matters. Honestly, man, like I can't change, like I can't change what I look like, and I can't change what, you know, um, like I don't know, black and brown people, we don't have the luxury of just being like, yeah, fuck race, you know, because even if we don't believe in that shit, and even if we don't whatever, that it's still like it still follows us. We still feel the effects of it, you know. It's so it's not a thing that like, to me it has to be more than just the passion. It has to be more than just the whatever, because we feel the effects of that shit, and yeah, it's just I can't do that anymore. Lenoy, what's the N for? Is that like a mistype? Um, but yeah, like, I get it for some. Um, I don't know. It has to be more. It has to be more than that for me. Yeah, awareness is. Yeah, like we got to be more. We got to be more cognizant about that shit. And like, I'm. It's the same for me. It's the same when I think about like, adding people with queer experiences to like my stories. Like, I don't want to. I don't want to shy away from that. I don't want to cut that out. Because I have queer people in my family. I have queer friends, and just like I want those people to feel represented in a way, the way I do not feel represented, respectfully. Um, yeah, so I've just taken time, even with like some of my queer characters, and not hit certain beats that are just regular shit that disrespects them, you know. I can't hit everything, I don't think any one person can. It's not my goal to do that, but it is my goal to have some perspective and to make a world feel more true to life and more lived in, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I feel like we gotta, we gotta do a little bit more and expect a little bit more times too. I feel like, I ain't trying to save the world or anything, but you know, when did I start my art journey? And what are the different job titles? Um, I mean, look, I used to sketch and stuff like as a kid. Hold on, real quick. I need to get this right. If I'm flipping forward like this, maybe my clothes are going this way. Going back. I want to do that because I feel like that's more fun. Gotta do it. Or I'm also drawing on Twitch, so give me a second to do in there. Um, yeah, so I've always drawn since I was a kid, but I took like 10 years off where I just wasn't drawing at all. I started a business. I was in college. I also like played sports as a kid. You know what I'm saying? I basketball, football, and track. Um, there was a lot of stuff where, but I did have an art class which I like to draw in. But I did a lot of extracurricular stuff, man. So it took me out of art. I didn't get back into art until 2014, 2015, where I decided I would draw every day no matter what. And then that ended up being the game changer, right? Drawing every single day, using a lot of online resources and stuff like that to just like find the right things and to grow. And yeah, job title right now is I'm an art director at a digital ad tech agency, so I do a lot more um, corporate design, if you will. And that kind of design does not take illustrations, different stuff. It's creative strategy, composition, color theory, um, user interface, user experience, things of that nature. And then freelance, I do character design and storyboarding. You know, but you could be an um, animator, director. Some of those things you kind of move up to. You can be a storyboard revisionist. You can be storyboard artist. You can do background design. Um, you can do viz dev, like the stuff that I did for the Sony project was more viz dev stuff. And that was really fun. I had never really done stuff like that before, and they were like, "Yo, can you do that?" And I was like, "Yep." It's always good to push yourself and get out of your comfort zone because that's really how you grow. My first set of like storyboarding stuff was like that too. Can you do that? And I was like, "Sure, yeah." And as I was working on it, I was like, I do not know if I can do this." And they're like, "What was that?" And I'm like, "What? Excuse me?" Um, yeah, what's Jordan saying? One about closer mics, fraternity brothers, damn, cut me out the chat. Oh, okay. Only wants Mr. Popo and Uncle Ruckus in. All right, different layout. Ooh, push my layout up. Team Labs leaderboard. Sultan, I hope that gave you something. All right, well, while it's slow, let me just get back to drawing. That would be interesting. What's up, Malik? Thanks for hopping on. Malik, I think you were on my Twitch too. Sorry if I didn't reference you, man. Real quick, I was just trying to go through the chat. I'm trying to show up to draw, but I find that like sometimes I'm just on here just talking. Well, like I know Vince Smoke was like, "Yo, nah, we're coming to just you, man." But I do have that art tab on there, so I think people are coming because they want to see a nigga draw something. There's an Earl the Sweatshirt ad lib where he was like, he's like, my grandma's passing. And he was like, nigga, we want to hear them rhymes, bro. We don't want to hear you talk all that talk, nigga. We want to hear them rhymes, them raps. Like, shit feels so real. It's all good. Glad to see you doing, bro. Thank you. What am I working on? I'm doing a Miles Morales thing. If you guys want to hop over and see that, it's Miles Morales kind of fan arty stuff. The funny thing is, okay, so I like this. I did these hips wrong, but you know what? I'll take it. That's fine. A little fucked. You know, like the ass cheek is gonna come up here. There's gonna be some squash here because there's some compression here. This is coming up. It's still gonna be where it is. So you get some squish here, some straightening out here. And you're gonna get the opposite on this leg. Trying to get some good juxtaposition here. Oh, this just made me think. Fears your fears, and I listen to that right now. Bear with me as quick. This is definitely gonna get hit with a DMCA and probably songs from The Big Chair because I love that fucking album. Yeah, Head Over Heels. This is kind of a straight. This is a straight through shout. Working hour. Everybody wants to rule the world. Mothers talk. I believe is probably the, like, for me, one of the more weaker ones. Um, but listen, all straight through. This is just a fucking pop straight through. Oh, Malik is on my Twitch. Oh, sending love from Jamaica. I'm taking it. Thank you. I appreciate you hopping on. Room 47 unlocked. Oh, what's up, Danger? Yes. Elart, what's up? Yeah, I've actually been streaming for about an hour and 30 minutes. Right around this time, I'm probably say if you have a Prime account and support me, get subs, you can do it. It shouldn't cost you anything with a Prime account, which is cool. If you're on IG, you know, you can cop one of those badges. Apparently, if you stream for a certain amount of time, they'll match badges and all that shit. So let's see if they put their money where their mouth is. But yeah, I want to try to stream more. I'm gonna have to stream late just because, you know, of everything else. So you're a type of person who's a night owl, then you can catch my streams. And I hope I give you some inspiration and you're having some fun here. To the Spider-Verse reference, yeah, but this is actually dangerous into Spider-Verse reference. But Malik, this is actually the redraw of Saint Chase's Miles Morales. He was able to do a like an update for the 10-year anniversary, and it looks really sick, man. Did this cool, really cool thing that I'm completely fucking up in this view. I'm gonna have to stick with my having this now. And this whole album is just really dope. This is actually gonna go up higher. What am I making? You gotta hop over to my Twitch to see a Miles Morales fan art I'm doing. Peek into the Cheetoverse. Alright. Bells and Thorns. Powerful. Did I get that? So funny, you look at and you zoom out. How wrong this looks. That's fine. I attempted something. I think the execution idea is interesting. The execution is bad. I'm just gonna try that. I'm gonna try it one more time. You know, if you're new to like my stream or me as an artist, you gotta recognize that I will do something like 3, 4 times, um, you know, to really grasp it. Like on my third or fourth time, I feel like that's when it Hey, make sure work tomorrow. And then you just kind of learn some shit you just not can't you're not prepared for. I think Twitch is muting all the audio coming through clear on IG. It probably is. It will live mute. It probably heard Tears for Fears was just super well known and was like, yo, can't play this shit on here. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh man, it sucks that you guys can't hear this shit. You guys can't hear this. The Working Hour is such a fucking good song. Anybody who can't hear Working Hour. No, the Yeti's picking it up. It's just it's that's what it is. I'm getting hit to take now. They're muting my thing. Sucks because Working Hour is a really good song. Y'all could hear it. Yeah, man, I know musicians have to get paid. This is fucking. So many artists are driven by music, and to not be able to just like listen to the music that you really fuck with, is just trash. It really is. On all these dynamic poses, I don't want to use them. I want to use my own, but I'm not finding the right stuff that I want to use. It's cool. Alright, they're hitting me. Alright. So I'm using this nondescript chill wave synthwave because apparently you guys couldn't hear me before because Twitch wants to hold me. My boy Cameron has some really dope music too, man. Labels ruin everything. Killed the vibe on SoundCloud too. Every platform runs it. No, man, it's so trash. And it's funny because they just completely fuck their artists over, don't care about their artists. And you think like, all right, well, let's find the artists get paid and shit like that. And things like SoundCloud, things like a lot of these freer services have given artists more power. And instead they've been like, nah, fuck that. Let's catch a little bit more. Feet are one of those things I have such a fucking hard time. I draw them all the time and I fucking hate. Shaku Masquerade. I'm gonna redraw this. Pull that leg over here. What am I drawing? I'm working on some fan art stuff for the new 10-year anniversary for Miles Morales that Saint Chase did. Man, this dude's artwork is so crazy. Like, he's one of those guys that, like, I don't know. She'll make you want to quit art sometimes. So fucking good. I'm trying to go to his stories right now. He just did some more sketches, and the sketches are fire. Yeah, man, it's just crazy. Just crazy. How ill, like, it's crazy how much movement the dude can get, like how he's just really, I love the style in which he draws his muscle work, man. It's so smooth, but at the same time, like, he is the right, I don't know. If it was singing, it'd be like the right intonation. Shape theory. It's really cool. Yeah, it's just the way he draws stuff, man. It's just dope. This is probably gonna be it. I did all that drawing, but this is probably Oh shoot, Jim Doe, thanks for the. Oh, I gotta add that. Yeah, so Jumdo, thank you for the follow, man. I appreciate that so much. I'm gonna be trying to stream more. I haven't developed a streaming schedule. It'll probably be a while before I get like a more defined schedule, but definitely gonna stream more. I am gonna be doing more of that setup that we talked about before, where I'm gonna be doing more, like 10 minutes on, 10 minutes draw. You know. I'm looking at these shoes again, and they look really familiar. Not being delicate with these, really just putting it down because it's still gonna be a sketch for me. kind of like this. And what size I usually norm for image? I do like an 8x10. Damn, it's 140. I've been streaming for almost 2 hours. Doe, thanks for the follow. Everybody here, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Just wanted to like do something that was a little bit creative, that wasn't client work. Chat with you guys for a bit, which is always fun. I'm gonna try to do this a little bit more. Next time I'm on though, you guys are gonna see me run through a storyboard stuff, so you know, still learning storyboard, still doing a lot of stuff with that, but you know, I've been able to do some interesting stuff, so we'll see. Let's see where that leads us. All right, y'all. I'm gonna hop off. For the 7 viewers that are on, next time you guys are on, if you got the time, hop in, man, and just you know, say something in the chat if you have. I'd appreciate that. It helps. Shaku, no problem. Next time, maybe you can join the Twitch and watch there. You don't need to have an account. You can just watch there. Cool. Helps my viewership and all that jazz. Yeah. So you guys will see me next week. Work on some storyboard stuff. Have better energy. Be able to perform a little bit more. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm gonna let you guys ride out on Twitch. Communicate with each other, if you will, for a few minutes. Yeah. Thank you guys again.